Today we're going to talk about why ChatGPT lies so much and how to fix it. You probably had the experience where you've asked ChatGPT something and whatever it came back with was completely incorrect, confidently incorrect. Why does it do that? The reason is pretty simple. ChatGPT is incentivized to lie, but is penalized for saying, I don't know. So it's basically like a kid taking a multiple choice test. Kid knows some of the answers, but not all of the answers. Answers the one that he can't answer, and he gets a good score on those. For the ones that are left, what should he do? There are two options. He could leave them blank and get them scored as wrong, or he can guess, and maybe he gets it right some of the time. That's exactly what ChatGPT is doing when it's giving you its wrong answers. But there is a way to fix this somewhat, and that is in the custom instructions within ChatGPT. And I'll show you how to do that now. I'm in ChatGPT, and the link is in the description. I am logged in with a free account. When you're logged in, you'll see your name in the bottom left. Click on that, and click on Personalization. That brings up this personalization screen, which is basically a place where you can customize how ChatGPT interacts with you. And I'll be discussing some of the other things in here in other videos. Right now, we're going to be interested in the custom instructions section. So I'm going to put my mouse in there. And now I'm going to paste in a very long prompt that I crafted. There's recently been an update to ChatGPT, which makes ChatGPT pay more attention to these custom instructions, much more so than it did before. So should help us be more effective in weeding out those wrong answers that we sometimes get. The prompt that I have here in my custom instructions starts with give preference to the most recent sources of information and reputable sources of information. This part actually is not about ChatGPT lying and making things up. This is about when ChatGPT does find a source, however, that source is woefully out of date or from a not credible source. So I put that in there first. Next, I say, if you cannot verify something, explicitly say, I cannot verify this, or I do not have access to that information. Never guess. If you don't know, say you don't know. It's okay to say, I don't know, rather than guess. Label all inferences, speculation, or unverified content at the start of sentences with inference, speculation, or unverified. Always acknowledge uncertainty when present. If you can't provide real sources, don't make the claim. So this should help a lot, especially since there is a new version out and it is now using the custom instructions within the personalization section more. The next thing we'll do is we will click Save. So some things to be aware of. This will help a lot. It will be much better. Will it still lie? Yes. Will it still lie frequently? Less frequently. There's some new data around how often ChatGPT makes stuff up. And one of the things that ChatGPT will also do is make up sources or make claims and say that they are based on sources, but that's not actually true. So it's not foolproof. I'll give you a couple more prompts here that will help you to navigate your answers and get to clarity and truth a little better. First and foremost, and I would say this about any tool that you're using, if it's starting to hallucinate, if it's giving you some crap, close the conversation, start a new conversation. Close out what you're doing, restart the conversation. Otherwise, it's just going to get confused and it's just going to get worse and worse, and it's going to be frustrating for you as well. You got a much better shot of it giving you the right answer if you just get out of there and restart. Here's some other things you can do to increase the accuracy of your responses. You can ask ChatGPT to rephrase your question to you prior to answering it, so you can uncover any incorrect assumptions. If you have a multi-part or complex ask, break that down into simple, sequential parts. Get overwhelmed and hallucinate when it has a big, complex, hairy bunch of stuff to do. So if you can break that down and take it piece by piece, you're much more likely to get a better result. And as we discussed before, something else that you can do in the prompting stage is to ask it to cite specific sources for all factual claims. Once you have a response from ChatGPT, you can ask it, what is your confidence level in this response? You can ask it to provide a numeric confidence score between 0 and 100%. And these are tips that help not just with ChatGPT, but any other large language model. These are things that I use frequently to whittle my way to a correct answer by making the large language model validate to me that it understands the requirements that I've given it, and then having it also check its own work and make improvements to that work. Having all of these things in your toolbox gives you a lot more control over the outputs that you're getting and should mean that you see a lot less lies. For more easy, jargon-free AI tutorials, please subscribe. Thank you for watching.